What's up, guys? This is Logical Blade. About to get started with the first Let's Play video for Rome Total War. It's my first video actually doing this, but something I've wanted to do for a while now, and I think it's great to have stuff like this to be able to watch for honestly a lot of reasons. First of all, it's fun to just watch other people play when you may not have access to it at the time, and on the other hand, you learn a shit ton watching other people play. Whether it just be like watching how people play different factions, certain battle methods, anything like that. I think it's a great community between streamers and everything like that. The people that put mods out, make the game better. And I'm excited to be a part of that. Hopefully this takes off, something I would really enjoy doing, something I would love to be able to give back to the community. But for a first playthrough on the channel, gotta go with Rome. That's just the classic faction. I know it's the easiest, may or may not like the decision, but that's just the classic faction to start with. I personally like to play with the House of Cornelia. It is nice to play with the House of Julia because you get that plus 15% melee attack with barbarians, and you get the cultural conversion. But I like the minus 50% public order penalties when you have foreign cultures, because a lot of these wars you fight, you take pieces of provinces and not full provinces, and you end up getting a lot of public order hits, which makes you have to kind of keep armies landlocked in certain areas. And when you kind of expand it around the edge of that Imperium level, as you'll see, you kind of got to keep armies around to keep the public order in check, and the public order is just not something that's fun to deal with. So very hard. Check these settings. That all works. Go very hard. Legendary is fun. I have done campaigns on Legendary before, but just for the sake of this, go very hard. Gives a good challenge, but at the same time, you also can save whenever you want, which is nice. As soon as this loads, we'll get right into it. I don't know about you guys, but I personally got into Total War games years ago, back when the original Rome Total War came out. Spent years playing that in Medieval 2, until finally Rome 2 came out, and then I started getting into all of them and the modded versions, and I think Rome 2's gotta be my favorite out of all of them. Spent a fair amount of time playing Attila lately, as well as getting a little bit into Thrones of Britannia. Thrones of Britannia is a lot of fun. It's a little smaller, but I really enjoy the historical part of it. Just finished the new season of The Last Kingdom on Netflix, and great show, but it's also really enjoyable to play with some of those characters you see on the show, and in kind of a biased sense, your personal opinions on characters is fun to have impact the way you play the game. Makes it a lot more interesting.
You are at war with the Etruscan League. March north and capture their territories. This will allow you to consolidate Italia and ensure the safety of Rome. You must wage war if you hope to extend your dominion. Syracuse and Carthage own territory in Magna Graecia, so conflict with them is inevitable if you wish to expand across the Mediterranean. Otherwise, They may prove useful allies against Etruria or the Gaulish tribes to the north. Come what may, Rome will triumph.
Alright, so I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to kind of explain some things that I'm doing, like obviously, but just in case you've never played Total War before, I'll explain some of the basic stuff that I'm doing as well. Like, these games just have gotten more and more complex over the years, and if you haven't been playing them in the long run, it seems like a lot at first. I've tried teaching friends of mine to play these games, and it's been hit or miss, just due to the just a plethora of different things you gotta manage, like public order, diplomacy, the new update having political parties, and just the fighting and everything. But it's I think that's what makes it great. It's just the fact that you're literally managing your own country. So I think right now I'm just going to focus on the Etruscan League. I know it mentioned Carthage as well and Syracuse, but personally the way I like to play this Rome campaign is I try to get trade deals with Carthage usually, because it's a more valuable trade agreement for earlier on in the game, unless you want to send your spy to like Turkey and unlock Pergamon and all those. Those are usually some pretty good trade agreements, but I think I'm going to keep my spy a little more local to start and try to just capture these two settlements real quick, and hopefully Alalia doesn't get too stacked up with soldiers where I got to worry about my port cities getting attacked. But obvious first move would be attack Philathri. I can do that later this turn, but first I'm going to increase my tax rate before public order gets too low, make a little more money, and I'm also going to upgrade Rome to a civil colonia real quick, as well as get some industry going in the city. Rome is by far the most valuable settlement in the game. I'm sure other settlements such as Carthage, and I know Antioch's very valuable, but this settlement specifically I like to put a lot of money making buildings in, because the province itself is so wealthy, and do anything I can to milk off of that. So got 580 gold left. Might as well beef up some of the southern force real quick, get a unit of Hastati in there, research some supply reforms so I can unlock my military construction chain. And without further ado, let's attack Philathri. Take this first Etruscan League settlement.
We take this settlement for Rome!
I'm not worried about that other army there if you're wondering why I didn't attack, because they will more likely than not try to retreat around these northern mountains to Arin Minim, which I will hit probably in a couple turns, since I will need more forces to be able to take on both Arin Minim and that army. So let's get into the first battle. Very exciting. 1280 against 720 shouldn't be an issue. I half expect them to sully out, which would be kind of nice because I have a lot of missile units, and I can eliminate half their spearmen by the time they even get out. So they did sully out, it looks like. So that'll make it a little bit easier, I think. I personally like fighting in the towns more. Siege battles are just so much more fun. Playing online, I always play the city assaults, whether it's attacking or defending. They're just so much more fun. There's just that extra aspect to it, and just having the enemy contained in towns when you're attacking is also nice. You have less avenues to get flanked and a little more manageable, but the numbers I have here should not affect a field battle, especially the fact that you got 2 units of peasants. I don't want fog. I want to use my missile advantage. Let's get some dry weather. There we go. So now we can start deploying.
Astarte! Romans ready for duty.
I noticed a lot of people in the videos I've watched, they don't
Astarte!
group their units up, which I understand because when it's happening so fast paced, it's easier to be able to just pull individual units to either defend a flanking maneuver or anything like that. But personally, I like to group them because you can always do the other method and just pull the unit off, but just for quick management, I think it's a lot easier. I'm going to try to... Actually, I'm going to try to cut across this open ground here. And then I can pull my cavalry up this hill and flank them eventually. I just got to get their cav engaged first. These jabbies should do a shit ton of work to them, but I doubt they're going to push. They'll probably just realign right up behind this tree line if I had to guess. So I'm going to pull my guys up. I'll pull my jabbies up. I'll pull my cav on top of the hill here. I'll speed this up so you guys aren't stuck waiting for my army to move. I'm not going to run them, I'm just going to walk them to save the fatigue factor. Hopefully save some more lives in the end. That's one thing that can really make or break you, I've noticed in a battle. If your guys are dead tired by the time that they reach the enemy, they're gonna die so much quicker, they're gonna break so much quicker. So I'm assuming they've probably got their infantry lined up around here. They've probably got their slingers right in front, which is okay. Slingers aren't going to do the most amount of damage to my Astarte, but I do need to press them quick once I'm within range. Ideally, I can engage all of their foot soldiers and hopefully suck the cav into that melee, and then I can send my cav around and at least flank one of their slinger units to start. Alright, they're moving, probably just realigning, yeah. They're just realigning, so what do they have? Italian cavalry 80, I do not want to get in a cav on cav battle. If I had a unit of equites as well, I would get in the cav on cav battle, but not going to do that and put my general at risk like that. So, I'm just going to pull my Javies up now and just let them engage. I'm not as worried if they die, especially the leves, because they're smaller units, they'll regen pretty quick. And at least give some covering fire for my infantry to move up. Send them in. So we'll send these two guys on the spearmen, these two guys on some mob. Actually, I'll try to send one Hastati at the cav itself, and hopefully that initial Javi volley they do on the way puts a dent in their cav unit. Alright, stuff's starting to happen. I'll put it at full speed. We'll start sprinting with these guys.
Sons of Mars! Attack! Ready and waiting! Fire on the enemy!
Yep, they're pushing. That's okay. Pull my cav up. Hopefully the Astarte gets up quick. Oh well. It's okay. Alright, now that these guys are engaged, I'm gonna pull my cav here.
Astarte! Engage! General! For Raiders, advance! Advance!
Charge him in the back right there real
Our general
quick.
is under attack.
Yeah, they're starting to drop. Yep, there we go. They'll break. Give it a minute. Ah, that's smarter than they're pulling out. So let's get some fire going on these guys. They broke. Go through and hit them. They're gonna fall back, so let's focus some missile fire on this unit here. They re-engaged. Now they're gonna waver. Yeah, they're done. These guys should be done soon. Put a couple volleys into them. In the back.
Missiles awaiting targets.
Put them in the back with some missiles. I'll switch these guys here because we'll get a Javi volley in right now. Put in some good work. And once, yep, pull these cav over since they're running. Looks like they're done with them. Don't need them anymore. Just put a couple volleys into there. Hopefully I don't do too much damage to my own units. But it isn't like Attila where you like you shit on your own units if you like shoot into a big cluster of people. It's like you almost kill as much as yours as you do as them, but it's alright. They'll break any second now.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
The only reason I'm chasing this unit out that far is just to keep them running. I'm not worried about killing them with that unit. I was just trying to stall them from shooting until this cav unit was free, which they are now. So it'll be done pretty quick. Yeah, they're wavering. They'll be done any second now, and that'll be a wrap. Let's see how close they are. If I click again, I can get them to put another volley in. They're out of ammo, actually. There we go. Nice and easy. First battle. Counted as a win. 157 to 699. That's not terrible. Could be better. Looks like their Italian spearmen got about half their kills. This unit must have been playing against the peasants if they got 161. Cav did decent, 96. Not as many kills as I would have liked with my Velites, but that's also because they got engaged. Because I was stupid enough to pull them too quick. But that's okay. Also probably some of the reason I lost 157. I probably would have lost maybe 100 if I hadn't gotten those Velites engaged. Game's taking its time loading today. God damn. Just trying to play some Total War. It's okay. So now that I can start thinking about what to do next. I've conquered Valathri, so next turn I'll start building in there. I'll use Valathri as a food town in that province. And next turn I also want to build some farms in Cosentia. I like to use that as a farming town because once you conquer Sicily, it's pretty buffered. Once you start to expand Rome in the early game, it's pretty protected. I like to do one food producing town per province in case you ever get negative food. Those surplus food towns are not going to have you attritioning soldiers in those regions. Which
we hunger for battle.
You can almost live or die by the food production you have in this game. It's crazy, but realistic at the same time. So, can I get a bit? Yeah, I'll just expand it now. I'm not gonna get slumps. I'm not a big navy person. I usually just take my initial navies and use them as like extra garrison. But what I am going to do is pull my spy up here just to get a peek on Genua, however the fuck you say it. But I usually like to take this town first over Batavium or Medline, because usually I use that as a quicker launching point to go take Eulalia, because usually it's pretty well defended, has a good garrison by the time you're ready to go take it. 434. Let's recruit one more Hastati, and we'll call it a turn. Not bad for a first turn. I guess one thing I should have checked, bit of a rookie move on my part, no excuses. I should have tried to get a couple trade agreements going, maybe a couple non-aggression packs. The Greek factions are usually hard to get those treaties with right on the first couple turns, but almost guaranteed trade agreement is with Massilia every single time you play. And I personally don't invade into Gaul past the Alps too early, so that Massilia trade agreement is just a little supplemental income until I'm eventually ready to attack them. If you're wondering or haven't played Total War, Massilia is just right over there. They usually have just that settlement, maybe one or two others at most, but they never venture too far past like here, these two towns. I think that's Tolosa, and that is, it's not Bibractum, might be Bibractum, but can't remember. So just like I said I was going to do, I'm going to build some farms in Valathri and Cosentia. I also, I can't do it, but I usually like to make Cosentia a farming town as well. So Neapolis, I'm going to put a trade port, harbor, and that's all of my expenses for this turn. Let me go into the diplomacy now. See if Carthage wants to trade. They hate me right now, it looks like, but
you are
let's
welcome.
see. Nah, they don't want it. What about non-aggression? We have that. That's sick. Epirus usually dies pretty quick, which is funny. Greetings. Because if you play online or like watch pros play tournaments, Epirus is like a seemingly
for the
common
sake of friendship
faction.
that has been, and
they have great units. Anything with Greek is
excellent.
Great units to have in online, just due to the fact they have the pikemen. See if the Artie, however the hell you say
friend
it.
And speak.
See if they
we
want to
surely
trade.
have.
Like I was saying, it's really hard to get some of these early game trade agreements. Liguria would probably accept. Nah, they wouldn't. But I don't want to do any treaties with them anyway, because I eventually have to attack them.
How can I be of assistance?
So let's go take a peek over here now. See what they got.
Commander.
It's so tempting to want to go ambush him right now, but I've played this game so many times, I know I would end up right there and one turn out of reach from attacking, and I do not have the force right now.
Ready for orders.
So we'll call it a turn. Get 3,039 next turn. That's pretty nice. One thing that I really enjoy about the newer style Total War games is the whole province system. Like Rome OG and Medieval 2 are such fun games. Just the fighting, the infinite army factor, just classic Total War games. If you're a big fan of the series, I mean, those two are some of the goats of the series in my opinion. The nice thing about this one is the whole province system, where you just have more towns on the map. The map's bigger, but you just have more towns on the map, where one town isn't gonna be half of Italy on the map, and I think it just promotes the whole military aspect of the game in such a greater level. So we'll put a manipulator barracks in Rome so I can start recruiting some princeps. Let's see if Carthage wants to do it now. Nope, they're red still.
Be welcome.
See what Athens
But may
wants to do.
Athena strike.
Athens never wants to trade for some reason, which I don't get. Get like
Your
non-aggressions
words
with them,
bring
but they're like
satisfaction to the gods.
too far to have a war with, so the non-aggression pact is pretty much pointless for at least 20 turns. And even in 20 turns I won't be near taking their shit. So let's open up this civil research chain next. I'm gonna hold off on recruiting for that army, just due to the fact is I want to get some better units in them. But these guys can definitely use some Hastati and some Velites. And then I guess that's it for this turn. There's not too much to do right now, just due to the fact that just don't have much going on yet. Haven't discovered too many factions, so the diplomacy is pretty null right now. And militarily, I'm in that limbo stage of beefing up for the next attack. But should get to the next battle in about 2 turns from now.
A treaty between us would please the...
That works. I personally don't like to fight Sparta. I mean, first of all, their units are sick. But second of all, just who doesn't like the movie 300? And just Spartan lore itself is awesome. Like, they're so cool. I don't like to go to war with them. And I usually like to conquer in other directions before I start getting into the Greek wars. Kind of let that whole mess sort itself out. One faction will become dominant in that region most likely, and I'll just take on that whole region as one instead of having multiple smaller wars to worry about. So let's take another look at Ariminum. See what their garrison's looking like. 8 units. 4 of which I'm not worried about. They're recruiting, so they'll be up to 12. So they'll have 20 units total. I got 11, so we'll wait. Ah, shit. It's 2 turns till the thing's ready. But one thing I can do right now is I'll get the next army started. I want it to be House of Cornelia. Always want Cav. Put him in there. We'll give him a couple early units. We'll give him some medium infantry and some Velites. And let's see if we can build anything. Can't get the manipular barracks. See if I can make some money off diplomacy. That'll be funny. Athens. See if you want to trade now that you're green.
Let Zeus and all the gods smile upon
pussies. And nobody else is going to want to trade. What about the Arday?
Enter, friend, and speak. We short.
Nope. Alright, we tried. Epirus isn't going to want to trade. I'm not even going to try with them. Gonna wait for the jeweler next turn. But we can upgrade. Yeah, that'll increase our trade value. Producing more olive oil. If I had to guess, the army that is recruiting in Ariminum is going to eventually swing down towards Rome. They're not going to attack, but they'll probably push down that way. And if that's the case, I will, once I recruit a little bit better army for Velathri, I'm going to swing around and hit them while the town's undefended. Yep, they're swinging down. So what I'll probably do is pull my army to around there once it's ready, and as soon as that army vacates, I'll attack. And if they don't, it's fine, I'll just hit it anyway. Not worried. Etruscan League's pretty easy to beat. Italian spearmen just get a lot of missile units and they'll melt. And they usually don't do too much in the cavalry side of things, so I'm not worried. One more turn, I guess. Yep, one more turn. Let's get a jeweler going, and let's get some farming going. 6 food, I don't like being that close to 0.
Commander.
And let's research. I like to research siege early, at least get ballistas on the field, especially since you can control them yourself in cinematic mode. Makes it much easier to win battles, especially if you're A, outnumbered, or B, just the balance of power is totally against you. Having siege that you can control the firing of yourself is a complete game changer. Almost a cheat code once you get catapults, but it's fun. Alright, we'll leave it at that. One more turn. Probably finish this video out with the assault on Arin Minum, sorry. But as far as posting these, it's really going to be two things that decide. I have other campaigns going on in other games and this game, as well as just to see if videos like these take off. I really hope they do. Could be 20 people watching them, and that alone would make me feel accomplished. Accomplished meaning like, I mean, just be cool to have people watch, like, and enjoy it. It's really what it's for. It's for my enjoyment and for your guys' enjoyment. And if this really did become a thing, which I hope it does, I'll start showing other games, start posting videos of other games, and potentially go live if it got a following. Alright, now I can recruit.
It is a great and glorious thing to die.
Do some of these guys. Oh hell yeah, I can do another unit. Actually, we'll make it another Princeps. After this turn, I'll swing these guys up here. And then the turn after that will be the assault. Whether or not the army is in that town or not, I'm going to assault Arin Minum 2 turns from now. And if I need the numbers, I'll take my skeleton Roma army, recruit some mercenaries, and just give myself that overwhelming force. But Arin Minum will be mine. I do not lose. Also, one thing that would be really cool is if you guys are watching these, please leave comments for positive or negative reasons. I would love to hear from you guys. Anything I can do better, anything I can do differently, or even if you're just enjoying the videos, I would love to hear that as well. And I will reply. I think it'd be fun to engage with viewers.
Commander?
So I'll pull these guys up here. That might sucker their army back to town, but that's no worry.
Ready for further orders.
They're only 12 units. So let's do this. The 25% ammunition boost is really nice. Let's get some farms in the south so I can keep constructing other buildings that take away from food production. And I can get manipular barracks, so that's awesome. That'll secure Magna Graecia construction wise.
Ready for
And we'll end the turn here. And hopefully that army... Actually, I would kind of like if they moved back into town. I'm sure the building has enough line of sight to see my army in the north. And I think it'd be more fun to just have a big contested battle. More fun to watch than just a slaughter on the small garrison on Arin Minum. Huh. Is that the Insubres moving an army down on my border? I do not like that, but it's fine. I'll deal with them later. Alright, so now I can just swoop in and take her in middle.
We take this settlement for Rome.
I'm gonna hold off on that for a second while I
Rome.
do the other business of my turn.
Ready for
This army's got plague. That sucks, but let's recruit a little bit for him.
Are you ready to serve Rome?
And see if anybody wants to trade real quick. Carthage is not going to want to trade.
May Hermes bless us both.
Alright,
with skillful
see if they give me a little
tongues
bit of
that we
money.
may
So it
speak
goes
our
from like
parts
low
well, and so
to
reach
high in
agreement.
like one turn. See if 1,000 works. I wish you could put in custom amounts. It would be so sick. 500 is
Your people
500.
must.
Alright, nobody else is going to want to trade. So, without any more waiting, let's attack this town.
Besieging settlement.
2,000 against about 880. This will be quick. Hopefully they don't sully out. I would really like to just fight on the town map. Much more controlled environment. Especially since, for some reason, some of these CPU towns, they just like charge out of the town. And you can just line up your missile units and melt half of them by the time you even engage hand to hand. It's kind of sick. It's literally the same army I fought in Valathri and just a couple units of garrison fleet. But other than that, it's literally the same battle, just a different map. Sorry if that's a little bit boring, but guarantee you there'll be plenty of huge battles to come. Especially once I take Batavium. The Nori and the Raidi love coming down through those mountains and attacking Batavium. And I've had some of my favorite battles I've ever had there. Just sheer like odds against you stacked and just getting attacked turn after turn. It's actually a lot of fun. Let's make a little wider line.
Brave Romans to a man.
Put the cab on the flank. Line up the missiles close behind. Get them in range as quick as possible. Let's see if they sully out. Alright, these guys don't want to be in line.
Look to the men who stand with you. Seek to match their deeds and their war-birth nobility.
Yep, here they come.
Enemy will then stand against
It's alright,
us,
especially since my melee infantry also have jabbies. Gotta just fucking melt them. Come on. Alright, that's fine, I'll go in. I'll just fully assault him, I don't even care. I don't really gotta play that smart this battle. If I lose a few men, I lose a few men. This army will have plenty of time to regen. Put a couple cav here. And as soon as I get a lot of their forces engaged here, I'm going to swoop the cav in behind and attack all their missile units. Just the sheer number of missiles I'm about to send at them is about to be fun. Alright, not going to make the same mistake twice. I'm going to sprint my melee ahead. See if I get a volley in on these guys. Let's see what we do. Oh! Holy shit, that is a lot of missiles.
double
behind the missile. Cav is going for my Cav. Nope, they're not actually. Let's go in through this way. Send the Cav around. Melt this unit real quick. There we go. Take those guys out real quick. And I'll send one of these equites after their other unit.
Missile infantry ready.
Oh my god. The one guy that lived.
Hastati! Rome is mother to us all!
Oh, you just see the bodies drop.
Ready.
No!
Not soon enough.
Our general is under attack.
Let's melt their Cav real quick with some jabbies. Oh man, they're dropping. These guys are about to break. These guys have broken. Yep, let's grab.
Romans, ready for duty! Ready for orders! Double time!
Let's see if we can hit these guys with a javelin volley. Just see if I can kill them all with one volley. Oh. Damn. But they have 37, then they went to 8. Alright, they gotta have. That's what it is.
General!
Alright, that's gotta be their fleet unit. Let's just send the cabin quick to deal with that. They may or may not have a second unit. I'll pull my infantry up just in case to deal with it. But should be a wrap on this. Really haven't lost anybody.
General!
Why is that Cav retreating? Hit him.
Full glory!
I don't get why they even bother running at this point. Like, if I was fighting a losing battle like this and I knew that was like my last unit, or even if I had a couple units, it's like I'm just gonna take as many of them with me as I can. Like, especially a javelin volley. It's like if I get a town attack, I messed up and I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna fight in a way where I can just take as many of them out as I can, because I will have an army I can go re-attack that town with. So the less men I gotta fight the battle that counts, the second one, the better it is. But obviously they didn't do that, and easy win. 30, holy shit, only lost 38 men, killed 872. The Cav put in some work. About 300 kills. That's awesome. Well, that wraps up part 1 of the Rome campaign. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, be sure to follow or subscribe to the channel, whatever option it gives you, and that alone will let me know to just keep making these videos, and hope you guys enjoyed it. That was a fun, quick 45 minutes of playing, and look forward to the next one. Be sure to check out part 2. Logical Blade Gaming.